All right, so we are looking at the 7.5 homework, which doesn't have too much to it. A little bit of multiplication and addition. So first off, just remember you can add two matrices together as long as they have the same number of rows and the same number of columns. So this first one is a 2 by 2 matrix, and we want to add to that a 2 by 2 matrix. So we're good to go. We can do this. And in order to add matrices, all you do is just add them in order, so that 1 position, add the two of them together. So -4 plus 4. So that's this one plus this one. All right, so now let's do 4 plus 5. Oh, I'm going to put equals 2 by 2. So you add a 2 by 2 to a 2 by 2, you get a 2 by 2. Let's see. Now we'll add the 0 and the 3. And I'm using some funky colors here. Now we'll add the 1 and the 1. So our new matrix is going to be 0, 9, 3, 2. Looks good. So 0, 9, 3, 2. And notice they already have the matrix there for you. So all you have to do is just plug in the pieces. You see 0, 9, 3, and 2. All right, so the next one is subtraction. Just make sure that you keep them in order. And also you always need to check and make sure it's even possible. With addition and subtraction, they have to be the same size matrices, and the result is the same size. So the first one here is a 2 by 3, 2 rows, 3 columns. We want to subtract a 2 by 3, which we're allowed to do, and we're going to get a 2 by 3 when we do this. So just keep them in order. I'm going to do -3 minus -5. So that's -3 minus the -5. All right, now I'm going to do 1 minus -5. There's the 1 minus -5. All right, now how about -2 minus 2? Just be careful. We need minuses on all of these. We're subtracting, and then some of them just happen to also be negative. And then let's see, let's do the 0 and the 1. 0 minus 1. All right, let's do the 0 minus 2. And lastly, have I done red? Oh, I did already do red. -3 minus -2. So let's put this together. That's really -3 plus 5. 1 plus 5, that's a -4. That's a -1, that's a -2. This is really -3 plus 2. So we're going to get 2, 6, -4, -1, -2, -1. So there is our subtraction. So just be careful with the minus. That just makes it a plus, so minus a negative. So 2, 6, -4, -1, -2, -1. And there it is. All right. So now the third type of action we can do on a matrix, we can add them, we can subtract them. We can also multiply by a scalar. And so what happens when you multiply by a scalar is you just multiply everybody by that number. So -4 times matrix A means to multiply everybody by -4. So we're going to have -3 times -4. We're going to have 4 times -4. We're going to have 1 times -4. And we're going to have -1 times -4. So see, we're just multiplying everybody by -4, okay? Now just be careful with your signs again. That's going to be a +12, a -16, a -4, and a +4. Okay, so just be careful with your signs. But multiplying by a number, a matrix times a number, you just multiply everybody by that number. So there was our answer there. All right, now the last two are multiplying matrices together. Now when you multiply two matrices, it doesn't work the same way as like addition. You don't just try to go straight across. And actually you have to first see if you can even multiply them. In order to multiply two matrices together, it has to be this kind of situation. It has to be like an m by n times an n by r will give you an m by r. Okay, I don't want to use r. I can't remember. P maybe is what we usually use. Yeah, maybe that's it. So notice that the first guy's columns have to match the second guy's rows. You see the two numbers in the middle have to be the same, and the result is the numbers on the outside. So looking at this one, I have a 3 by 3, and I want to multiply that by a 3 by 2. So first off, it is okay because the 3's match in the middle, and this is actually going to give us a 3 by 2 matrix. So these have to match, and the result is the outside. So we're going to get a 3 by 2 here. And essentially what you do is you multiply the first guy's row, so match the first guy's row to the second guy's column. So again, row, column, and you multiply and add. So here's what we're going to do. So this is the 1, 1 position. So it's first row, first column. So what we're going to do is we're going to write down the first guy's first row. So there's his first row. We're going to write down the other guy's first column. And what we're going to do is multiply these together. See, we're lining them up. So this gives me a negative 21. Negative 6 times 9 is negative 54. 8 times negative 8 is negative 64. And then you're going to add those numbers together. So we got negative 21 plus negative 54 plus negative 64, which gives me negative 139. So this number is 139. Oh, I don't know why I threw the negative out. Negative 139. Let's do another one. Let's do, how about if we look at this position right here? So I'm going to erase this part. So notice what we're looking at now is second row and second column, right? So this is in the second row and it's the second column. So this is always the first guy and this is always the second guy. So I want the first guy's second row, 0, negative 1, negative 5. So that's his second row. And I want his second column. So second row, second column. So I'm going to line these up, 8, 6, 4. And I'm going to multiply all these. So 8 times 0 is 0. 6 times negative 1. So we should have 0, negative 6, negative 20. And then we come in and we add those numbers together. So 0 plus negative 6 plus negative 20 gives you a negative 26. So this value is a negative 26. So you'll just have to do this for all of them. Okay? So whichever entry you're doing, you're going to match, write down what it is. So we just did the entry in the second row, second column. So we need his second row and his second column. All right, so if we were going to do, let's do one more. Let's say we were going to do this one. Well, that is in the third row. So I need his third row. First column. So I need his first column. You see? So we've got, so we're doing third row. We're doing third row, first column. So I want his third row, and I'm going to match it up with his first column. I'm going to multiply each of these separately. So that's a 14 and a 63 and a 64. And then I'm going to add those up. So 14 plus 63 plus 64 is 141. So now I know he's a 141. So again, you'll just have to go in and do each piece and get them all. So here is the final answer. So there's we found that one, and we found that one, and we found that one. And so now you can just find the other ones. So it's a little time consuming, but just, well, take your time and you'll be okay. I think this is the same deal, right? Well, these are going to be bigger, much bigger. So this one, let's first just make sure we can even multiply. So this is a 4 by 4, and this is a 4 by 3. So notice their middles match, and the result is going to be a 4 by 3. All right, so we can multiply them together. So let's just pick somebody random. Let's pick this one right here. We're going to pick that one. Notice that is in the third row. So I'm going to need this third row and second column. So I'm going to need this second column. And so you're just going to match them up. And if you want, you don't have to write them all the way out like I did. If you want, just multiply. -2 times 8, -10 times -9, -8 times -6, -5 times -1. And then you're going to add them up. So see, each of these are the products. And now we'll just add them up. So 16 plus 90 plus 48 plus 5. 16, 90, 48, and 5 gives me a 159. So now if I wanted to do another one, let's say we want, I don't know, this one. That's in the second row, third column. So you're going to pair those together. So pair them, -7 and 7 would make -49. 7 and 3 is 21. 2 and -4 is -8. 9 and -5 is -45. And then just add them up. So -49 plus 21 minus 45. So that's a -81. So this one's a 159, and this one's a -81, etc. So you'll have to fill all of this in. So this is how you multiply matrices. And there they all are. And we found that 159 and that -81. All right, and that is your 7.5 homework.